Good afternoon. It's G-Force Tom Ginn, Friday. G is for gratitude. Gratitude works. Over the last several weeks, I've been working out of the book called Gratitude Works, and we'll be moving on to some other principles about gratitude out of some other teachings that I use in my coaching. But today I'm so grateful for this moment. It's this moment that dictates what happens the rest of your life, how we treat this moment. When we wake up in the morning, what's your first thought? That's going to dictate the rest of your day. Gratitude, very powerful word. It negates negativity. It brings new perspective. It brings hope. It gets you clarity. And no matter what the situation in your life is, in a space of gratitude, space of gratitude. It's a powerful, powerful word to use in your life. But today I'm super excited. I'm grateful to have a guest coming in. And today, a little bit about our relationship here is my wife's a massage therapist, does continue education, and that relationship started at a workshop up in Minocqua. And I'll let my guest share that with you in a moment. But in the meantime, take and share this out, because my guest today is going to bring some powerful information, her journey to where she is and her mission moving forward with what she's learned from the benefits of coaching. So tag and share your friends, but somebody can be touched and be impacted by her message today. So with that, I'm going to bring in my guest, Elizabeth Schwerman. I hope I pronounce. I always mess that up, Elizabeth.
It's that
I'm so
W.
grateful to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
This is great.
Well, what I'd really like to start out, and then we'll talk some specifics here in a moment, is just a little bit about yourself, your background a little bit, whatever you want to share, where you live, where you're transitioning today, and we'll just go from there. So the stage is yours, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's been an interesting journey. About 6 years ago, I'm actually up in Eagle River, Wisconsin. Love it. It's the Northwoods play area. But about 6 years ago, I was living in Dallas, working in corporate America, and kind of a stressful job. So stressful, it was causing me some pain and kicking in my anxiety and stress. And I met this man, and he said, "Why don't you quit? Come up here." And I'm like, "Okay, you bet." But that brought on its own stress of all of a sudden not working. I was so fortunate to be able to take a break from work, but that was stressful. We all think, oh, retirement's going to be great, but it's life changing. It's kind of like another empty nester. So I decided to follow my passion for anatomy and physiology, and I figured I'll just do massage. That sounds good. I'll learn anatomy. Didn't really think I was going to do massage. I wasn't really into touching people, but the first person I massaged, I fell in love. Oh, it was just absolutely wonderful to be able to, in 1 hour, change someone's life from walking in really super stressed and needing to relax or in pain, and walking out with less pain or at least a lot more relaxed. It was transformational, and I was just getting ready to graduate, and all this fear is coming up because I've been in corporate America where they give you a paycheck every week. You've got everything is done for you. You show up and you do your work, to being self-employed. Oh my gosh, having to do my own marketing, having to collect money, ask for money. It was huge. And Kathy came to Minocqua to do a continuing education class around business ethics. And I thought, well, sure, I'll take it, because anything I can learn about moving from a corporate worker to self-employed, I'll take it. And it was one of those. Sorry.
It's okay.
it was it was one of those classes that it was like a whole new world opened up. It was amazing. It was like everything that I knew before could be different. We never learned that just because this is the way it is, it has to be that way. And so I was hooked. I was like, how do I learn more about this? How do I be able to change my perspective and give myself the confidence to become self-employed, to ask for money, to ask for additional money? I mean, I could do that in the corporate world. It just seemed easier, but this was more personal. When you become self-employed, it really is personal. And that's when she got me hooked on Bob Proctor's training, and I got to meet Tom, and I went through the program. And let me tell you, I've I have had 15 years off and on of counseling, and what coaching has done for me, I couldn't have done, I mean, I couldn't be where I was without those years of counseling, but that coaching just took it to a whole new level. It was like, you know, within counseling, kind of it's you have to have somebody with you to go through this. With coaching, you're taught tools. I mean, it's helpful. It is so helpful to have a coach just to go back and remind how wonderful you are, where you're wanting to go, holding you accountable. But it gave me new tools to be able to change my thinking, to be able to look at situations from different angles. I mean, there's just not one solution. There's different ways, whether they be crazy or not, it doesn't matter. And that was so powerful, so powerful. And it so excited me. I was like, Tom and Kathy, I got to do this. This is a message people need to understand, that the way they're thinking right now can be different. You don't have to rinse, rather, and repeat every single day. And as a person who's always been on the anxious and stressful side, just to have that thought to be able to, I don't have to be that way, is, I'll cry, get a huge relief. Huge, that I can actually have a life that I want without having pain from stress, having anxiety. I mean, it's not like I got rid of all of it, but I have so many tools, and I have support through my coaches to be able to remind me and hold me accountable for where I want to go. Because it took me a while to get here, to get all screwed up. So it's going to take a little while to unravel it. So so now I've been a massage therapist for 3 years, and still absolutely loving it, and really want to get the word out of how coaching and even the Bob Proctor's program can really, if you're ready to release the stress, release the anxiety, and see the world differently. And gratitude, which that's why I love that you're doing this, is like, is the number one thing to, it's the elixir that will change everything.
Yeah, elixir, I like that. That's, or secret sauce, or the formula, or the foundation of rethinking. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it
Mm-hmm.
takes you out of fear when we're really
Yes.
grateful. And I know, you work predominantly with Kathy. That's my wife, and
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with you more on the business side, and
Mm-hmm.
that type of thing. And I've seen you grow, unbelievable. We
Thank
all
you.
have challenges. You put me in this corner too. There's days that I don't feel like it, or I get fearful, or my self-image gets in the way, and I'm no
Mm-hmm.
different than anybody else out there. But it's
Mm-hmm.
only through coaching do I recognize what that emotional thing I'm going through and know how to switch it. And
Exactly.
I'm going to throw a curveball at you here, because I just have some fun here and make it, because I'm going to bring up somebody we both know quite well.
Okay.
Okay. And tell me what you know about this person I bring up. I'm going to take down this banner so I can bring this up and tell the audience about this person.
Oh my gosh. I love this person. It is I'm visual, and it really displays how our mind and our brain work and how it goes into your body. I I even talk about this. I haven't gotten a chance to write it out for my massage clients, but just understanding what you think goes into your body. In fact, I was just talking to a client just like 2 hours ago about this, and he was in a lot of fear and he was in a lot of pain, and being able to have this information, this knowledge, and then be able to have a picture, because you want to hit all five senses, was great. Letting him know that what you focus on, you get more of. And we have a choice. We have a choice between focusing on all the negativity, all the bad stuff, or we can focus on the good stuff. It doesn't mean we're living in la la land. It means we want to have a healthy body and we want to be able to live healthy and happy. You got to feed it not only good foods, but good thoughts, because you are what you think.
Exactly. I just thought that just came to me. I always keep that up in my work when I'm doing these because it's relevant. And I just wanted to, have you express that is probably one of the most powerful things that we learn
Mm-hmm.
in thinking the results program is visually see our mind, because our mind's not a physical thing. It's the energy, our emotions. And
Mm-hmm.
that picture is by far when we recognize that, that's where we can make the change. That's how we get unstuck or move out
Yes.
of fear or whatever the emotional state we're in. And so stress, anxiety, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we recognize that, and that's the reason I brought them up is that you went through this process, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what you'll be part of what you'll be doing in teaching and coaching, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
It is so important. And from this, I've learned, in order to manage my stress, it's kind of a three-prong approach. You need to, do something with your body. You have to get your breath in there, and then you have to reprogram your mind. But in order to do this, you need to be in a relaxed state. In order to accept new information, you're not going to accept new information if your mind is just all over the place. So being able to relax in the body, control your breath, which automatically relaxes everything, and then your mind is open to a world of possibilities, of being able to look at things differently. I mean, again, my motivator is being stress less, because we do need a little amount of stress in order to stay alive, but we don't need the overwhelming stress of negativity, of bad thinking, of self-deprecating thinking, and understanding. And what the thinking and results does also is understanding where it came from. The biggest, I was never a great student at school. My report cards were fine, but I wasn't a great student. But when Bob talked about the report card, where it said it was just a clip in time, was so liberating for me. It was like, no wonder I had a report card at the wrong time, because sometimes I was doing really well, but oh no, that's not when the report cards were coming out. So just understanding where our thinking comes from and being able to examine it and realize this doesn't, this was given to us and we can get rid of it, which is life changing, life
yeah.
changing.
Stress leads, the whole left side, the negative side. And usually why we're in those emotional state is really what I call ignorance, lack of knowledge. You're not aware of something. Your pre-programming is dictating
Mm,
how you respond. And now that stick person, you can identify that emotion and how do you flip it? And you've done some tremendous flipping. Best way to put it. Have some fun with that. But um, so you've gone through the program,
Hmm.
Thinking Results, which my wife and I are both certified consultants. You've gone through our training program. Now you're take this discipline out to the world. And this is sort of a showcase for you as well today. So I want people to get to know
Thank you.
you and help you understand that doing a live stream, I tell you what, this was the hardest thing for me to do is get in front of this camera. And today, after 300 and some live streams, still learning and that type of thing. But it's about growth, getting out of your comfort zone. So today, a little bit about uh, two things I'd like to ask you. What was the number one thing in coaching in this specific program? What was the number one thing that got you over the hump, unstuck? What was the first thing?
Honestly, it was the stick person. Like I said, being able to see not only, well, it was the stick person brought it together, but being able to see how my thoughts also created pain in my body. I mean, when I was in corporate America, it was I just wanted to chop my whole right side, my whole right arm off. It was just I was in so much pain and stress. And understanding that our mind creates that because our body is constantly giving us feedback. When there's pain, there's an issue. And but when Bob showed how it really starts in the mind and then goes to the body, I was like, oh my gosh, I have control because I'm slightly a control freak. So understanding that I now have control over my thoughts. Oh my goodness, that is fabulous that I get to choose. And just like what you talk about with gratitude, it's a choice. We can choose a negative thought or we can choose gratitude, and which feels better in the body. So having that stick figure making me realize if I change my thoughts, I change the pain in my body, which then reinforces my thoughts. And that was just like huge explosion volcano. It was like my life has changed.
And learning that discipline, did you actually uh, see the manifestation of less pain, less stress once you learned?
Oh, definitely, definitely. And through COVID, this program really helped me get through COVID. It was really difficult because I couldn't massage for about 3 months, and doing something that I love that I couldn't do and just sit at home and do nothing. It it was all those negative thoughts coming up. It's like, okay, you chose the wrong position. This is going to be crazy. You're never going to be able, this whole little tape started rolling in my head, making me really doubt my passion. Is this really what I want? And without the program, I think it would have been a whole lot worse. And it was every day reminding myself, this is what I love. This too shall pass. These are just old thoughts. This is just fear. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to weather this storm and get back to doing what I'm doing. And crazy enough, this year, 2020, I made more money in 2020 than I did in 2019. And even though I was off for 3 months and clients were down, somehow it wasn't a whole lot, but somehow I made more money in 2020. And I'm on track now to make even more money this year. And I'm just so blessed. I can't believe it. And I honestly believe it is gratitude every day. It is when those negative thoughts start coming in, understanding that is not real and I can choose something different. What a freedom that is.
Yeah, because as we at an emotional level, we'll draw into the world what our subconscious thinking. So you release some negative and you stop worrying about the money, right? I mean, we all have a need for
Mhm.
the money and what we're doing, but when you release that fear and doubt and worry, guess what happened? What delivered to you? More money, right?
I know that, and you know what? It's crazy because every week something comes up that proves to me that this works. When you release the negativity, it works. And it's not hard. I think that's probably the most difficult thing about this program is once you trust, it isn't hard. It really isn't. And I always expect things. Good things only come to those who really work hard. No, it doesn't. And that is when you really need a coach. The coach to remind you you're on the right path, you are going where you're going, this too shall pass, you can do it, and reminding us of our passion. Because without that coach, you easily can get lost. I don't care how good you are, you can get lost in all those negative thoughts because that's what our brain is trained to do. That's its function. Just like our hand is trained to do this, our mind, our ego, whatever you want to call it, is trained to keep us safe by feeding us fear thoughts. And
Yeah.
so when you recognize that, it is easy. The road is hard.
That brings to a point what you're talking about, your pain and that type of thing. I went through this week. I have a little thing on my neck, and the doctor prescribed some very strong antibiotics, and he says it's going to kick your butt. Basically, he's going to have headaches, nausea, lethargic, can't you want to sleep, and body aches, and all this stuff, and other symptoms which I won't get into. And it was pretty devastating the first day or two. But what I looked is just changed my frame of reference. And guess what? I did get an emotional lift from the point of gratitude. I used the gratitude principles, and yeah, I was still under the weather, but I wasn't in the state that I could have just pulled the blankets up. So, did you experience it? Like I said, you experienced the same thing with understanding how your mind works, the relief of the stress in your body, different perspective.
Yeah,
Is that
definitely. And I not to beat the horse of gratitude, but when my body does give me pain, I do thank it. I do thank you for reminding me that I'm doing something wrong or I need to make some changes, because that's what our body's supposed to do. We're not going to be totally pain free, unless you're dead. But the pain is just a reminder in our body, and the louder the pain, I've just seen it so many times with clients on the table. Their pain is so loud, but yet they still ignore it. And the more you ignore it, the worse it gets, and it can lead to cancer, it can lead to other diseases, in my opinion. We need that pain to remind us that something's wrong and we need to do something different. Thank goodness our body is set up that way. But oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I think both of us could say we talk this because we know it, and it isn't a magic pill and there's a light switch where all of a sudden now you do all this and everything changes. But in a way, now you do this and everything does change. You're given tools, and yes, sure, we get down sometimes and we get up sometimes, but we can it's so much more controllable. Like I said, as a control freak, it's so much more controllable.
respond versus react? That's something that we've talked about. Learn to respond to the stimuli, just whatever's going on. You can identify. Now you can respond. Then you're in control. Doesn't change a bad circumstance, but it gives you a better perspective of how to deal with it in a different way. And I know with your body work that you do, the passion to do that. Once you saw it in somebody else, and that was your gift, and I think that's a sign that that's your gift, your healing presence and what you do for people. So taking your body disciplines that you're doing and what you know here, how do you want to help and serve the world? The world's big, but who do you really want to bring people through that journey to a stressless, healthy lifestyle? Share with us who you'd like to talk with.
You know, I really resonate with women that are trying to balance work, a career, and home. and how you to do your best at work and be able to do your best at home raising these beautiful children and still have time for yourself and not feeling like take the cape off. I mean, I'm only speaking from experience here. We don't have to wear a cape, and it's all a choice. And for me, being able to reach those type of women teaches the children how to better handle things going forward. That is one thing that I saw in my life. And I see it, unfortunately, now I see it in my daughter, and I didn't learn this fast enough. She has her cape on, trying to do everything and not taking care of herself. And I want to help people, give them tools so that when they do come home from a bad day and the kids are crying, they have some tools to step out of that craziness and be able to find a stress less moment. And so those are the people that really kind of resonate. And I really feel like this works well with massage because it is about moving the stress out of body. When we get stressed, everybody knows where they carry their stress. I mean, they can identify it: neck, shoulders, arms, low back. So being able to get that, get you to like a place where you're feeling okay in order to be able to hear the message and take that information in. And the easiest way to control stress is through your breath. It's a tool you don't have to purchase. It comes with, upon birth. And the breath is just so powerful in that it can really take a situation from way up here down to here so that you can think better.
That's something too, through personal development growth, you learn all these things to support the thinking. Because when you understand to master your breath, you're in control of your body at that point through mind, because it takes a thinking process to master what some of the disciplines you teach in breath work, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
what I used to tell my kids when they would get really upset. So, and this is just basic. So, when we are stressed, every most of our systems in our body shut down. Hi, Sandy.
Sandy, welcome. Sandy is a personal development coach as well. Sandy, I have a pleasure. This is Elizabeth. She's one of my wife and I's clients. She's also a colleague in the business now as a coach. We've put her through our training program. And so she's on sharing her story today, her transformation to take what she's learned through coaching and this specific discipline to help the world she wants to serve. So you're in an elite group here, Elizabeth, with Sandy Archer. She does a live stream as well, and I would encourage you to hook up and
Cool.
chat, because supporting each other in this arena is so important. So Sandy, thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate it. So um,
So what even before I went through all this training, I have realized that when you're stressed, your breath becomes shallow because a lot of our body functions, immune system shuts down, digestion shuts down, all the oxygen from our body is going to our limbs to either fight or flight. So you can't think. There's not oxygen up here in your brain in order to think rationally because everything is going to your limbs in order to get the hay out of there. But when you take your breath, and there's this little cool trick, there's a vagus nerve that runs from your head into your stomach. And when you breathe in through your belly, in and out through your belly, it actually massages that vagus nerve and sends messages back to your brain that, hey, everything's okay. There's no saber-toothed tiger chasing after us. What a tool that is. Whether you're stressed or not, if you could just stop and just breathe in and out with your belly to massage that nerve so that you can get everything to calm down so you can actually think. That just, okay, now I can think and now I can implement all of these tools, you know. So that's kind of one thing I'm passionate about is being healthy, eating right, exercising. And I don't mean, I'm not a big exerciser, but just something enough to get things moving. Just walking just helps with stress, helps keep your brain clear. So that's kind of what my my program is about. Not necessarily exercise, because I don't like sweating, but just understanding how those three things go together, how your body, your breath, and your mind go together, and being able to keep healthy.
Wonderful. And so you're predominant. You want to predominantly want to work with women, so they can manage that part of their life, the stress, more effectively through thinking and breath work and
Mm-hmm.
your guidance through that process. And
Mm-hmm.
you, because you do physical body work, but what you teach as well, you can do this, those two disciplines remotely, correct?
Oh,
Work with people.
definitely. Definitely. I always encourage you to go get a massage, but there's other things we can do with the body, um, in order to set up this, to be able to become healthy and
Yeah.
stress less.
Yeah, and I think what you just said there is preparing yourself for the physical work. Because if you can do that, it's just going to enhance the physical process
Y-
of a therapeutic massage. But if you're not working it here at an emotional level and all that, you may still stay in pain. So I think, what you're doing and teaching, no matter where a person is, you can bring 2 to 3 elements in to really improve their stress levels, with what you teach. Would you
Yes.
agree? Or
Oh, yes. Thank you. That's well said.
okay. Um, what else would you like to leave with the audience today? We can probably, you and I could probably talk for hours about the principles of our favorite person. Bring the favorite person up again,
Yes,
and I'm
please.
just going to pull down that banner, and because I believe when you understand this picture, you're in control of your life. And
Exactly.
let me get that off. Is very few people teach that discipline. Bob Proctor is the master of it. He helps you better understand, and what you've learned and you've applied has definitely changed your life. A transformational process. Still a lot of growth. We all have. Life is not a destination. We're
That's
still
right.
growing, expanding,
Yes.
and but I believe when you connect with uh, Elizabeth, she will introduce you to our favorite person, the stick person, and really show you how to put it to work in your life to release stress. Staying at, I call it emotional homeostasis. How do you get to that space where no matter what the world's throwing at us, we have an opportunity to take control of it and respond to it versus reacting? And when we do that, we can release stress.
Mm.
And I'm excited to help you and guide you through your business side of this. You're a talented, gifted person.
Thank
You're
you.
going to bring a lot of gift to the world. And from my observation and what I know of you, and I just encourage uh, to reach out to Elizabeth, get her perspective of how this programs work. Now, I approach it. My perspective is the same but different. I'm
Hmm.
a man. So we think we're wired different, but we operate on the same emotional level. So Elizabeth would be a great candidate to reach out to, do a discovery session where to get to know her, find out how she can get you unstuck at that emotional level so you can live a less stressful life. And so we're here to support you, and just want to let you know that. So
Well, thank
uh,
you. It's been such a pleasure. You've just helped me tremendously. You know, I never thought I could sell something, and you've just broken it down into really helping me with the business side of self-employment. Again, going from corporate to self-employment is huge, huge. And I couldn't have done it really without your guidance. You've given me a lot of confidence and encouragement in what I already knew how to do. So I really I give you so much credit into where I am today. So thank you.
well, the credit goes back to you. You did the work.
Yeah.
That's the key. You did the work. The
Yeah.
magic came from you. Your desire, it came from you. I just delivered a vehicle for you to jump into. Uh, that's what Bob Proctor did with me. He says, you have to do the work, you
Yeah.
know. And I just want to plant this. I believe every person needs a coach in life,
Oh,
a mentor, a sage,
yes.
somebody that's been through the path and you can bring them to your mountaintop, right?
Yes.
And the great thing is you get them to the mountaintop, you got to get them down again. So you're a Sherpa. That's what I call it. You got to have a Sherpa in life, a guide in life that's been down the path, and you're going to be working with women,
Yes.
making transitions, getting through all the things that women have to do, in our culture.
Yes.
And I'm excited for your clients because you'll be
Thank you.
touching a lot of people. And how can people get a hold of you?
Well, you can reach me through my email at bodybmassage@gmail.com. And I really look forward to talking to people because, we got to get this information out to everybody. Everybody needs to understand that they can control their life and be happy and stressless. And really, that is my goal, is to pass this on through the moms to their children. And the next generation is going to be great. And these moms are going to be able to, they're going to be so much further ahead than I was when I was trying to having a career and raising a family. So it's pretty powerful work.
Wonderful. I'm going to have you on again at some point if you'd like.
Well, thank you.
We
I
can
would
talk
love
maybe a little
to.
more specifics, maybe some detailed concepts to help bring awareness. Only through awareness do we have an opportunity to change anything in our life. And
Exactly.
I'd love to have you on in the future as well. So
Well, thank you. And I really appreciate you having me. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
thank you. My pleasure. Any last parting thought? Because I'm going to put you under contract. I got some M&Ms back there for you. So
Oh, thank you. Green ones, I hope.
what's that?
Green ones, I hope.
The green ones, yeah, I got the lot more green ones than the red ones, so you're in good shape.
Thank you.
But any
Thank you
last
very much.
thoughts for the
Nope,
audience? All
just
right. Well,
thank you.
hang tight, enjoy the green ones, and I'll be right back with you.
Sounds good.
So, you have met a very special woman. I encourage you to reach out to her. And she's made some significant transformations in her life. Our interaction as being coaches and mentors to her, we've seen it, and you'll be in great hands with Elizabeth. So definitely reach out to her. But in closing today, I just want to make sure that you're marking your calendar for May 1st, because the Science of Success series, we are doing our second launch on May 1st. The information about our program, let me get this up here. I do have, I believe, the registration link is right there. It's a bit.ly/registration science success. All the details there. This is my comrades that will be participating in this event. Myself, Chris Natsky, former national taekwondo champion, corporate speaker, author. He will be coming in talking some dynamic benefits of what he teaches in coaching. Nikki Gagnemi, and she'll be talking about how to pivot. And then Phil Pinto is an executive coach, and he works predominantly with CEOs, women CEOs. So join us on May 1st for Science Success Series. And again, I'm so grateful for today, this moment. I'm so grateful to have Elizabeth on. She is, I learn as much from my clients than they learn probably from the program. So I just want to let you know that I've learned a lot from her. And so you're in good hands. So we are going to sign out, and we'll see you on Monday. We're going to have a new format of topic around gratitude starting Monday. Gratitude does work. Most powerful principle, if you can master the principles of gratitude, it will change your life. With that all said, we're signing out.